found Shara Jaga Guslepo. Go what about the Rendaki? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very happy to be with all of you, and we're eternally indebted to our acharyas and all the devotees present in this discussion. Hare Krishna. We continue our discussion on leadership for an age of higher consciousness, presented by His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Swami Maharaj. This is his teachings. We are reflecting on his teachings. Today we are looking at chapter 5. Developing skills. This part 2 in looking at developing skills. Before we look at the content, we want to look at a very powerful point Gurudev has given. Human beings are co-creators with God, reflecting the fact that they are made in the image of God. The thought they think and the words they speak today are constantly creating their tomorrows. Those who learn to control their thoughts and words will control their future. This point we should. This is a sutra. We should meditate on this. It's a perplexity. And Krishna discussed this in Bhagavad Gita chapter 5. Who is the cause of our suffering? Material energy, because Krishna said material energy is conducting everything. In chapter 3, 27, Krishna clearly mentioned Prakriti Krimanani Gunakarmi Sarvasa. Ahankar Vibhudhatma Kartahamiti Manyate. If you look at this verse very carefully, so the material energy is doing everything. So why am I suffering? How can I suffer for something someone else does? We have not seen someone is eating sumptuously, another person eating is getting belly full. We don't see that. So material energy is conducting everything, but why we suffer for what someone else is doing? Or Christians say, they say, by the devil's cause it. The devil cause it. Satan cause it. But where is the Satan? And if you move forward in chapter 5, Krishna make this point very, very clear. We are simply sitting in the city of Nine Gate, causing neither work to be done or we are responsible for the suffering, for the activity which we perform. So one will naturally think, so what energy is responsible for my suffering? Or Krishna is responsible because he is the doer, he is the permitter, he is the knower of everything. He is the cause of my suffering. But when we look carefully, Krishna explained that there are three causes, not only two, material energy and Krishna, the super soul. There are three causes. There another person. Who is that? The jiva. So there are three causes. The jiva, material energy, and the super soul, Krishna. So here, Gurudev is saying that we are co-creators of God. We create the material body we are having. We also create the experiences we're undergoing. Krishna is a super soul, is a superseer, is the overseer, is a witness. He simply do all these things and gives permission. That is where he's connected here. And the material energy simply facilitates our own desires. So we cannot hold the two doers responsible. We are responsible. We give this example many times. If one is not able to lift any load on the head and somebody else helps us to lift the load on the head, who is responsible? You who is carrying the load being your desire or somebody who helps you to lift it on the head? It is our desire. And because we cannot do it, material energy, the super soul, they facilitate that. So that we can learn from our sufferings. Because we are not intelligent enough to learn from hearing. So we are co-creators. We are creating. Just like when you have a desire for a particular dress and you go to the market, search for a particular dress, the color, whatever you want, you purchase it and come and give it to the tailor and tell the tailor to show this style for me. If the tailor show that dress according to how you describe it, you cannot hold the tailor responsible because you order it. You told the tailor, this is what I want, and he brought the cloth. This is what we are doing. This is our situation. Therefore, very clear term, this is a sutra. Human beings are co-creators with God, reflecting the fact that we are made in the image of God, all of us. So we are tiny creators. Krishna is the supreme creator, we are the tiny creators. Tiny. The fact is that both of us are creating. But the supreme creator provides the facilities, he provides the intelligence, the knowledge, ability to do what we want to create. But a design, it is given by us. So we are responsible. Therefore, according to Bhagavad Gita, whatever we are experiencing now is as the result of our wrong desires in the past. And our future is not difficult to understand. Our future is the exact thing we are doing now. The level of our consciousness for the whole day, for the whole week, for the whole month, for the whole year, for the whole lifetime. That is our future. So we are creating our future now, and we are reaping the result of what we have done in the past. Many people are very perplexed in this material world. How now someone has taken to Krishna consciousness. He's chanting Hare Krishna. He's fasting. See, he follows rules and regulations, trying to be a good person, but the person have accident. What is this, Krishna? Can't you protect? Yes, Krishna protect, but Krishna does not forget also our nonsense. So today we are trying to be a good person. What about the previous lives we have lived? How good we were? Krishna look at that. We can forget, but Krishna will not. Krishna remember everything. And because we need it to learn a lesson, Krishna will put it to us. I said, because we need it to learn a lesson, Krishna will give it to us. So Krishna did not say, my devotees shall not have challenges, my devotees shall not have problems. Krishna didn't say that. Krishna said, my devotees will never be destroyed. The challenges we must have, but destruction, no. Why? Because we need to learn from it and grow. So it is good for us. Just like a child will learn to walk even if he falls and has bruises on a knee. A parent cannot refuse a child from walking, from practicing walking. No, because that is how he's going to learn. This is the situation. The thought we think and the word we speak every day are constantly creating our tomorrows. Therefore, those of us who learn to control our thoughts and word today have a good future. Our future is already controlled. So this is a sutra that we should memorize. We should think about this. All right? Developing skills. Next. Is the content of our view today. Patience, tolerance, and empathy is what the key is to effective leadership. One, we should consider the perspective of others. If you want to be a good leader, because we are not the ultimate society of God, so our views cannot be the ultimate. People are very wise. They say 2 heads are better than 1. 2, be a conscious creator. It's very important. You should be a conscious creator. What are we creating? We should know about that. 3, we should remember who is the ultimate controller. We should always remember that. Who is the ultimate controller? We are controlling something. But who is the ultimate controller? That should be carefully understood. 4, the decline of patience and tolerance. We will look at that. What is destroying our patience and tolerance? What is destroying? We will look at it. Then we are going to look also at how to develop patience and tolerance, which is very, very important. Gurudev said is the key to effective leadership. Patience and tolerance. Wonderful qualities. 6, we are going to look at the pitfalls of leadership. What are the things a leader should carefully avoid to help us lead from inside out, to help us lead people on the path to righteousness? What are the things we should avoid? Then number 7, we will look at the loneliness, if it is a reality or it's illusion. Is it true that this loneliness, one can be lonely? Because there are so many people all around. We have so many friends, we have so many relatives, we have so many things. Even apart from him, we have so many gadgets or other properties around. So is it possible one can be lonely in the midst of all this? And then we will look at how to move beyond the loneliness. Then we'll try to avoid an elitist mentality. We constantly repeat that we are all leaders. We are all leaders. Therefore, we should be bona fide leaders. Leaders who are ruling from inside out. And we're going to look at how to conquer the envy. These are the 10 topics we're going to look at in this section 5 of our leadership discussion. Next. Thank you. Patience, tolerance, empathy, they are the keys to effective leadership. Leaders should make special effort to evaluate their own activities to see if they are displaying the true patience. Hare Krishna. What do we see in Lord Ramachandra? Lord Ramachandra's special quality is not about his being the supreme personality of Godhead. That is not the special, wonderful, the most important qualities that made him Ramchandra Bhagavan. It's not just because of his position as the supreme personality of Godhead. What is that? Lord Ramachandra ruled his kingdom. He ruled his people, including his brothers, without envy. He ruled everybody with person with tolerance. He treated everybody exactly like he treated his own biological children. As a leader. He is a king, apart from being the supreme person of God, he's the king. So all powers are in his hands. But Lord Ramachandra lead everyone, right from demigod to the significant ant. Lord Ramachandra led everyone exactly like his own children. He didn't see any difference. And he will, because he knows the politics in leadership, he knows. He will disguise himself and move among everybody. In this way, he's able to know what the ministers cannot tell him. Lord Ramachandra was able to see it. Because in politics, when you are being voted in, you will know those who did not vote for you. You know the particular area that they didn't vote for you. So when you're in power, what will you do? Their request will not be met. Even if you're going to respond, you respond late or less. Because you know they didn't vote for me. So why should I take care of you? But Ramachandra was taking care of everybody. So his ministers, they cannot cheat him. He will lead. He knows all the need of everyone, not only because he's getting information from his representative. He has spies. Lord Ramachandra has spies. The Supreme Lord, he has spies who goes to every nook and corner. They hear what everybody is talking behind. They won't say in the public. Why is he doing this? He's not trying to find fault with people so he can castigate them, he can kill them or deny them of their need. He's doing this to see that no one is left uncared for. As a leader. So we refer to him, Ram Rajya. And proper say people talk about it, but without Ramchandra. They don't have his quality, but they talk about it. Actually, that they can do. Because they are not trained. They don't know who they are. They don't know who the citizens are. So how will they lead? They are all cheaters. Leaders should also observe their patterns of avoidance, apathy, or insensitivity, especially at those times when they need to be moved, to be more involved. In productive action. How would they know that? If they're not moving around to see what is happening. You don't have spies to go and check things and tell them.
It's 3 o'clock.
Okay, thank you. If they don't have the interest of people at heart, how will they have the interest of people at heart? Only when you have the training, the knowledge. The training is compulsory, necessary. That is why Gurudev has put this in there. I have mentioned before that this is Gurudev in the book form, and we are sharing this. This training is required. This training. We are not simply hearing this to understand how great a personality is and Gurudev is, but we are learning this because we need it. And that is the reason why he gave it to us. So we can practice this and become what we are expected to be in Krishna consciousness. So we can be a perfect and bona fide representative of Krishna. Next. A leader should consider the perspective of others. A leader should know, as we mentioned before, a tree cannot be a forest. A tree cannot make a forest. Even Ramachandra, he has ministered, and whenever there is any situation, he will ask them first. He will not conclude. He will ask them first. He's not making jest of them. He's not just asking to see, what do you say? What do you say? Oh, useless. Oh, useless. You keep quiet. No, all of you give nonsense. I know the best. He really answered. He really serious about it, and whatever he got, he's going to work on it. For example, when the Ravana sent spies to come and spy him, Vibhishan identified them. He said, see, those people come from the sky. They are my brother's spies. They have already known everything about us. Even though they have not landed, they have known everything about us. Let us kill them. Masha had it very clearly. So he turned to all the ministers. So what do you say? Everybody gave their own suggestions. And the Lord concluded, messengers should not be killed. Servants should not be killed. The master is responsible. They are servants, so they cannot be killed. This is Sastric. He's not just speaking philosophy, not just speaking. It's a reality. That is a code of conduct for leadership. See, even if Ravana comes here now and say, I'm sorry, everything is finished. Finished. So what about the servant? Let them go. They left and they were very happy. When they went back to Ravana, they told him, that personality you call human being is not a human being as you think. He's a supreme personality of Godhead. He's ready to forgive you. Go and give him back his wife and save us. It is the leadership of Ramchandra that affected them to realize this. And they confess it to Ravana. Even though Krishna, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, won't without a second. Every time there is an issue, Krishna would never act upon it until he would ask Uddhava. My dear Uddhava, counselor, what do you suggest? What do you say? Look at this case, this situation very carefully and tell me what to do. And when Uddhava told Krishna, in this case, you are going to Hastinapur, but Yudhishthira Maharaj cannot perform that sacrifice on fought Jarasandha 18 times. Don't go with the military. It should disguise and take only 2 people with you, or 3 of you should go. So that no more bloodshed for this. Just deal with him silently. Exactly as Uddhava directed. Krishna followed it exactly and executed everything. They went, took care of Jarasandha, they came back, and Yudhishthira Maharaj had his Raja special sacrifice perfectly performed. Krishna did this. We cannot be a tree. A tree cannot make a forest. So also they said 2 heads are better than 1. That means we need some advice. We need some suggestion to complement what we have. So a leader should not speak first. Leaders should speak last. Give people a chance to be part of your leadership. Of course, that should be done diligently. Not that you bring people who does not know the science to come and be in your government. You will not succeed. It will spoil everything. Yes. The virtues for patience and tolerance are too important to be marred by individual character flaws. One way to erode patience and tolerance is by failing to consider the position of another person, recognizing only one's own motivations and desires. My way is the highway. Trunk A road. You sit down and hear from me. Hear from me. I'm the leader here. This kind of mindset will destroy patience. It will destroy tolerance. It will not give chance for tolerance, for patience to manifest in our leadership. And without these qualities, Gurudev said these 2 qualities are very, very important. So we should not destroy it by our individual weakness. To behave in this way is to deny others' individuality and humanity and to minimize that person's contributions. This situation is going on everywhere in our society today. That is why everything is going down. Even in the religious organizations, our notable donors, when they come to the temple, our notable donors, when they come to visit the temple, what do we do? How do we receive them? We minimize other people. Even devotees, we minimize other devotees. A devotee who is chanting sincerely and trying sincerely to keep principle and practice Krishna consciousness, we minimize them because when you go Sankirtan, how much do you bring? For this person, you can give us thousands, millions. So this is not the way to lead. In churches, they are giving the front seat. And they make it so materialistic, so they said it, so mean that everybody will become grossly minimized. And the way they are glorified, the way they are positioned. No, I cannot sit here. This is VIP. And what are you? Rag. Go back. Go back. Will this person go back to Godhead now? But the person who is practicing has a chance to go back to God. So leaders should be careful. Yes, we have to respect everybody for what they do, for their contribution, but we should not minimize anybody. We shouldn't minimize it. We treat people according to their level, but no minimization. of anybody. Once, a Srila Prabhupada visited one temple. And one devotee who is seen to be an eccentric devotee was standing by the stage. He didn't rush, he didn't run to go and meet Prabhupada. Others were running to go and see Prabhupada. But he didn't go. He was standing down there, looking at all the devotees. And he was murmuring something. See them, they're just running to go and commit offense there. That is all they're going to do. Gurudev had him. He was cautious. He didn't run there. He didn't run there. He has to go. He has to go gently. Be conscious of the proper position. But others run there to what? Go and make offenses. But Gurudev learned something from this devotee. He was looked down upon. But Gurudev learned from him. Oh, see the wisdom this person has. Not that he didn't want to see Prabhupada, not that he didn't go there. He knew, I have to compose myself. So instead of thinking I will tolerate this situation, it might be more helpful to think I will try to understand this situation and respond appropriately without overreacting or minimizing its significance. The difficulty is that we will not have patience. We will not have tolerance. Even somebody gives, yes, I know. Yes, I know. Yes, thank you. And thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes. I don't want to hear from you. What you're talking is nonsense. Yes, I know. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. We don't listen to learn. Who are you to advise me? So in this, we're simply tolerating the person in this, but we are not appreciating the effort that other devotees are contributing to help us do our own service nicely. If a leader have good mind towards the citizens will also respond in that way. And difficult tasks will easily be achieved when they have good supporters. If you don't have good supporters, you're going to see devastation always. A little to become very difficult because they are going to respond to our negative attitude towards them. So a job which should be done in 2 hours, you can take a whole week to do it. Oh, we are very busy, this thing can be done like this. It is a plan because it's all politics to delay. So patience and tolerance are very, very, very important qualities for a leader to make. We should try to understand that patience is not laziness. That is different. Tolerance is not just at an inconvenience. It's not an inconvenience. Yet because I can tolerate it because I cannot beat you. If I fight, I will not beat you, so I can tolerate you. That's a different thing. That's not tolerance. It's a different thing altogether. So a leader should consider the viewpoint of others. We should value others who are with us. Otherwise, why are they with us if they are so useless? All right? Those who are satisfied with a superficial evaluation of behavior will have difficulty being patient and tolerant in this way. Yes? Look at Kamsa. Kamsa has no compassion. He has no good behavior. He's not patient. He's not tolerant. Just the moment he had that the child of your sister will kill him, that very moment he want to kill. He didn't take time to consider, what did I do that he's going to kill me? You don't think of that. And how is it that he's coming to my sister? He didn't consider that. Immediately, he didn't even think about the consequences. Immediately, he was not told that the sister is going to kill him. He was told that the eighth child. So look at him. Before even the first child comes, let her be killed. This is it. People who lack compassion for others cannot be tolerant. That is true. Because they do not feel obliged to adjust their worldview to factor in anyone other than individuals of importance to them personally. Anything I feel good, that is my right. Anything I don't feel good, even if it is good, but because I don't feel good about it, it is bad. One thing I have observed with all of us conditions, so we don't we don't like good advice. And one cannot become successful without advice. One who does not like advice cannot be successful. Only those who take advice favorably and work it, especially for those who have a good interest in their heart, who will succeed. So a leader must learn how to take good advice. Otherwise, why do we have ministers to discuss issues before? Because we need advice how to deal with something. We have experience every day. And the moment you have difficulty, ask one devotee, two devotees, the problem is solved immediately. So, and you are relieved. But suppose you don't have those people, or you have those people and you make them unimportant, you won't have the courage to ask them. Then you have to do everything alone. How many things will you do? And even if you do everything, how perfect will they be? You're not going to be glorified. You're not going to be glorified because you did not make anyone their successor. So what is the value of your being a leader? You cannot make someone their successor if you don't train them. If you don't make them valued, look valued, and contribute to your leadership. How would they learn, and how are they going to grow? How would they represent you? So when you go, everything is finished. You can say that apart from me, there's nobody else. It is false ego, no patience, no tolerance. Cannot tolerate somebody. And we want to be tolerated. So what is that? What is that thing which is so special in us that we should be tolerated, but we cannot tolerate other people? So that is a very bad quality a leader should try to avoid. We should not be like Kamsa. We should be like Parishit Maharaj. When Parishit Maharaj was told, you are going to die in 7 days, the sage has cursed you. So wonderful. Oh, wonderful. This is great. Although he had power to counteract the curse, he didn't do that. He accepted it in good faith. He said, Jai, this is good fortune for you. The same with Vidura. When Vidura was asked to be thrown out of the house, Jai, thank you very much. This is a very good fortune for me. This is, now I appreciate the working of the energy of Krishna. Now it's a good time for me to do this bad association with Dhira. I have a good association. Now I can go and pick the mess and Jai. This is providence, so nice. They have patience. they They are tolerant. Therefore, they accept every even the so-called reversals as something wonderful, as Christians causelessness. All right. Next, be a conscious creator. Yes. Should be a conscious creator. Be careful about what you pray for because you may get it. This is a simple phrasing of one of the laws of creation. Human beings are co-creators with God, reflecting the fact that they are made in the image of God. The thought, they think, the words they speak, they are constantly creating their tomorrows. We already discussed that the thoughts are what? They are things. Thoughts are composed of the same electrical spirit-based energy that pervades the rest of the universe. Thoughts have substance and power. And the more emotional energy people give them, the faster they become a manifested reality. You see, when you meditate upon something intensely, you get a fast result. When you don't meditate on something, when you take things lightly, they will not manifest instantly. They will take long time to manifest. So the more energy we put into our tongue, our thought, how strong, how forceful, how powerful it is, it will manifest faster. Because that's the energy we put into it. Therefore, we should be conscious of what we are thinking. We should be conscious because that is our future. That is what we are going to experience tomorrow. So if you don't like what is happening today, or what is happening because of what we have done yesterday, we should use today to create our future. Today, we have the chance to create our future or tomorrow. So no sensible person should worry about tomorrow. Every sensible person should be concerned with today. And every sensible person also should try not to live in the past. Many people live in the past, you cannot make advancement because you won't see what is the need for the present. You're not in the present, so you're not going to deal with the present. You're simply dealing with the past, which is already past. The past is past, and you cannot call it back, even with billions of dollars, proper quoted. We should not live in the past. We should live in the present so we can have a viable future. And for that, we need to be conscious of what we are creating. Just like when you are in the kitchen, what are you cooking? You should know about what you're cooking because in a few minutes, that is what you're going to eat. After you finish cooking and the offering is done, what next? You are going to eat what you have cooked few hours before. Similarly, we should know what we are creating, what future are we building for ourselves. We should know about this. So Dhruva Maharaj was meditating for Krishna, meditating on Krishna. I wanted a kingdom superior to that of my father. And for that, he went to the forest Madhava and performed severe austerity, very intense austerity. The purity of austerity shook the whole universe. The demigods went to the Brahma. Is the time of dissolution coming now? The Brahma said, no, just one of my grandfather. My grandchild is performing austerity. Now his austerity had become mature. Let me go and take care of it. But Krishna came and met Dhruva Maharaj. What do you want? Dhruva was completely bewildered to see the Supreme Personality standing before him. He was shocked. Yeah, this is what you have been calling for. Now it's present before you. And the Lord has to touch him with his conscience. And every remaining traces of necessary things disappeared, immediately disappeared. And the Lord was able to offer suitable, selected prayers. In the purpose, the Papa mentioned only when the person is blessed by Lord Krishna, I won't be able to offer such beautiful prayers to Krishna. And Prabhupada said, my dear Lord Krishna, please forgive me for my sinful desires. You see, Prahlad begged for forgiveness. The envious demigod influenced my intelligence to ask you for something which is not proper. Please forgive me for that. Excuse me. I don't want it again. Krishna, no, you get it. Don't worry. You get it. So Krishna gave it to him. So we should be careful what we are desiring, because what we are desiring will come. It will come. It will come. Either it will come here today, it will come tomorrow. So it is said here, you may get it. You may get it. You may get it now, you may get it tomorrow. But for getting it, it is sure. You get it. If a karma qualifies for us to get it now, you get it. If a karma qualifies for next time, you get it next time. But getting it, it is sure that you get it, because that is what we are meditating upon. Right? Next. Yes. So it is very important, since we want to be conscious of what we are creating for our future. It is very important for us to learn how to control the future so that we have a wonderful future. How to control the future. The spoken word has this same force and creative energy. Therefore, those who learn to control their thoughts and words now, as we're talking about present, now, we'll be able to control the future. Means what? We should purify the quality of our thoughts through the discipline of Christian consciousness. So here, our language, our universal language is Christian consciousness, Christian consciousness, Christian consciousness, Christian consciousness. This is what we speak, Christian consciousness. Why? That is our future. That is what we are creating, Christian consciousness. Christian consciousness. Change our material consciousness to Christian consciousness. This we have the right to do it now. Just as someone orders a meal in the restaurant, a person makes a request, consciously or unconsciously, that created the order. Even if an item does not always taste as anticipated, the person is responsible for dish because of the original order. You have placed order. I want samosas. I want some samosas. Yes, samosa. And the samosa is, oh no, it is sweet rice I wanted. Okay, the sweet rice will come after. Now you can take the samosa because this is what you ordered before. You can take this one now. Now you have ordered for sweet rice. Then I will go and bring that one after this. You have to take this one. Just like you're standing in the lift. The moment you press a button, you cannot tell the lift to take me to a different floor. You cannot tell the lift, no, you should stop. I'm going to 10th floor. The lift will take you to 12th floor first, because that is the button you press. And after that, then you can press 10 again. Then it will take you back to 10. You cannot order the lift to stop you on the way. It will take you directly there where you are pressed. So this is how we should learn how to control our future. Why? Because karmana deva nitrena. Once we have performed an act, the result is no more in our hand. The higher authority will decide. So you cannot tell them, no, this is what you did. You have to pay for it. So sometimes we wonder why good things are happening to bad people. Yeah, bad things are happening to good people because it is now we are trying to be good people. So the results of the good we are doing now, it will come later. But we have to pay for the one we have done before now. So devotees who have this knowledge, so don't become perplexed and wonder what is happening. Oh, Krishna is not helping me. I have prayed for 10 years now, nothing is happening. Maybe I should change my religion. I should go to Shiva now. Om Shivaya Namaha. And immediately, you get it. One devotee was crying one day. What is the problem? Oh, people are laughing at me. That you are in Christian consciousness for so many years now, you have no child. Just come to Shiva. Come, let's take it to Shiva. Immediately, we will give it to you. Come. We are wasting time with Krishna. Come to Shiva. Krishna will take a long time to answer you. Come, Lord Shiva will give it to you now. Don't you see me? I have many children. I'm not worshiping Krishna. I'm not keeping the regulative principle. See, I have children. I have sanctification to pray. I have everything. You're worshiping Krishna. You have no child. This is not proper. A devotee is crying and say, you are a fool. You should make a non-devotee to feel like this, but a non-devotee is making you to feel like this. This is wrong. It means you're not strong in a Christian consciousness. All right. Next. Be a conscious creator. While we have the negative one, we have the positive one. Since you are a co-creator with God, the more you are in tune with Him, the greater your power. So why think on a small scale? Think of plants that can assist the whole of humanity, raise your level of consciousness. Prabhupada said, you are American. How can you be American if you don't think big? If you think big, that's America. Think big. Because why Prabhupada did not do something small, because Prabhupada do something big. So what is you do something big, something small, something that can benefit the whole society, not just one person. Not just one person. When I came to Christian consciousness, it is the first day I came, the second time, and I came to the temple. No, the second time. The second time I came to the temple. So I went to a devotee who was attending to the guests. After the programs, I went there to ask my innermost questions that I was keeping there. One was about reincarnation, karma, the first one. The second one, I asked the devotee, I want to go to South Africa. Say for what? I want to go and fight for liberation, for freedom. I want to fight. I want liberation for the blacks. So the devotee asked me, you're from South Africa? I said, no. No, devotee said, you're from South Africa? I said, no, I'm not from South Africa. But I want to go and fight the blacks. So he said, because my first question was about karma reincarnation. So he started talking about karma. I said, why are you not born in South Africa? I don't have answer. I didn't have answer for him. So why are you not born in South Africa? I don't have no answer. Then he started the philosophy, karma reincarnation. After speaking, then he told me, you should become a devotee and save the whole world, not just one class of people. I still remember it till today. It became sensible to me. makes a lot of meaning to me. So this is a big challenge. And this is good. Why you look for something small, but you do something for the whole world. That makes sense. This is Prabhupada, the universal father, one who looks at everything in connection with Krishna, and he leads everyone in Krishna consciousness. Everyone and everything in Krishna consciousness. He does not see small, he sees big. That's Prabhupada. To understand that you are a co-creator is to be in pure harmony with the universe. Acting as a servant of and co-worker with the divine. If you fail to appreciate this reality, you become destructive and responsible for causing even more chaos in society. The choice is yours, and so are consequences. We should think of plans that can assist the whole of humanity. This is Krishna consciousness, and this is what proper established. This is the proper style. A plan which will assist the whole world, the global community. That is how a leader should think. That is how Krishna conscious persons should think. Do something for everyone. Be the lover of everyone. Not just small. Do something big. Save the whole world because the world is in danger. So make that sacrifice is the easiest way to attract Krishna's mercy. This is what our acharyas did. And we can be a good representative by following in their footsteps. Following their footsteps. What they establish, we take it up. By their causeless mercy, we will easily be empowered, and our way back to the kingdom of God is easily guaranteed in that way. Next. Remember who is the ultimate controller. Who is the ultimate controller? A leader should always be conscious of this. Always. If you want to succeed, you should always remember this. If you don't want to make ourselves or have live in this prison, this ignorance, this illusion, my way is the highest way. I am the best. Nobody can be like me. Then we will. That is a clear message that we don't understand the position of Krishna. So if you understand the position of Krishna, the supreme controller, that we are simply co-creators, co-workers with God, things will become very easy. People who think in terms of being co-workers with God, but refuse to recognize his supremacy in all things, assume the unfortunate position of trying to control everything themselves. This illusion. This illusion. We are working for Krishna, representing Krishna. This should not be forgotten. We should always remember. While giving your very best at all times as a leader, we should also remain detached and not overly preoccupied with the outcome of our actions. Spiritually conscious people know that ultimately they are not in charge. We are not in charge. Krishna gives permission for all of our actions. We try, Krishna gives us the permission to succeed, to do it. So we should always remember this, that the ultimate control of everything is about Krishna. We are simply working under him, working by his directions. By keeping this in mind and working this way, we will be a very successful leader. All right? Yes, move forward. Leaders who consider themselves proprietors and controllers can be impatient and intolerant, viewing themselves as centers around which all things revolve for their personal pleasure. Others who envy God and want to be the Godhead themselves may work hard to acquire mystical abilities and other powers. Such people tend to be ruthless and will interfere with the health and welfare of others instead of helping them. If you're not patient, if you're not tolerant, we are going to lead a very dangerous and destructive leadership or path. Because we have no accommodation for other people in our lives. We will not value other people in our lives. We cannot be a good leader. In fact, that is the point. We cannot be. Because whatever goes contrary to what we decide, is that thing or that person will be considered an enemy. But a leader is there for everyone. But because of lack of these qualities, we will not consider everybody to be the subject of our protection. Whenever you are tempted to succumb to a desire for power and control, reflect once again on the discussion about love in the first chapter. Remember that as your consciousness is directed by love, your impatience will recede, and any difficulties you encounter will become more smoothly resolved. Let all our activities be directed with love, with concern, with care for people. Everything will easily be resolved because we already discussed that love conquers hate. We cannot conquer hate by weapon. Weapon cannot do it. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu incarnation is the best, because he does not kill demons with weapons. He killed demons with the Mahamantra to purify the heart. So we're not killed, but we are purified. If one is killed, you come back with the same demonic quality again and continue. But if one is purified, there's no question of coming back against the demon. I will come back as a devotee, as a godly person. So the incarnation of Sister Mahaprabhu is the best of all the incarnations for these wonderful qualities. And the Krishna will kill somebody demon with weapons and merging into him, merging into the majority. But Sister will come and purify everyone. So our consciousness should be directed by love. Then our impatience will decline. It will go. We become a very careful and conscious leader who consider everything very carefully before acting. A leader must always consider, how will people benefit from what I'm going to do? As a leader, how will people benefit? Who will benefit from what I'm going to do? How many people are going to benefit from what I'm going to do? A counselor will not consider whatever suits me, just do it. Demonic. A devotee consider, if I do this, how will it affect others, positively or negatively? How many people are going to be encouraged in their Krishna consciousness if I do this as a leader? By leading with love. So whenever you are tempted to succumb to a desire for power and control, we should develop your love for God and for God's children. That is our power. That is the way to control. You can control somebody by pointing a gun on the person. You can control by shouting at the person, but they will always be revolted in the heart. But if you want to control somebody, that should be done with love. When you have love for the person, that word is so powerful that whatever you say cannot be disobeyed. People will follow. Prithu Maharaj was never disobeyed. People will follow. Why? He looked at the citizen exactly like his own children, and people can perceive that from his eyes. Looking at his, people can perceive that. Our king loves us. That is how one can control the whole world, with love, not with machine. That one can terrorize people, but that is not how to control people. So when the negative control system comes to the mind, the devotees will remember our love in action. And then acting in this way, everything will be completely resolved smoothly, without difficulty, smoothly. All dangers will disappear. Misunderstandings will disappear. Cruelty will disappear. We conquer hate by love. Next. Yes, we're still on the same topic. Remember who is ultimately in control. The technology to free oneself from anxiety. Sometimes you only need to look objectively at yourself, especially at the mind, to become amused by the absurd dictate it produces. If you allow yourself to identify with such ridiculous thoughts, you will increase your anxiety and have greater difficulties serving others. What to do? Laugh at those situations that cause you anxiety. When one is in difficulty, it's difficult to remember this. Difficult to remember the when one is in anxiety. So how do we get to this? By practice. It is by practice. You know how smile is so powerful, very mystical. Very mystical. Very, very mystical. When the Brikasura came to Lord Krishna, Brikasura came to Krishna desiring to kill Lord Shiva. Lord Krishna simply smiled. Hey, my dear friend, what's the problem? Just looking at that beautiful smile of Lord Krishna, his intelligence disappeared. His intelligence disappeared. And if you smile with people from the heart, everybody will be affected. When you have love from the heart and you smile out of that love in the heart to others, everybody will be affected. Everybody. That's how mystical it is. Therefore, our anxiety will disappear if we also smile on anxiety. They will disappear. But it requires practice. We should practice. Practice makes perfect. If you practice, the Christian will help us to remember. Smile, and you see everything will become. The the tension which has gripped us and put us into anxiety, the smile will destroy it immediately. And not only you feel that, everyone around you in the environment also will be charged with that energy. So this is technology we should constantly practice. You should smile. And people who are joyful, who are always smiling, you see, you have a good health. All difficult things become very simple. All difficulty is simple. Because you have a lot of energy that will make that negative energy insignificant. That will not exist in you again. Support processes that enhance human well-being by making decisions that are people-oriented rather than just profitable. As a leader, a leader is different from a manager. A manager knows the ability of all the workers. A manager knows. He knows the ability of all the workers. And he will take advantage by using them for his own profit. As a manager, he doesn't care for the people. He only uses them for himself. A leader, he also knows everybody. He knows everyone's activity, ability. A leader will use everyone's ability in benefiting themselves and others. He will not use them for himself. He uses themselves for themselves. As a leader. So it's different. Therefore, it is very important for us to care for people instead of the profit. Why is that important? Why is it necessary? If you don't care for the people, that profit you are looking for, you're not going to get it. Because we need people to get that profit. We need people. Then, if you have the people, everything else will come. We can use people now for our own profit. That will be, it will not last. It will just be for that moment. Because people are going to discover that you are just using them for your own benefit without caring for them. People will leave. An organization and a company where the people are not cared for will always keep employing people. New people always, new people always. So we are wasting our resources, our energy. But when we care for people, people are going to, they will make us attain that which we are looking for. This is what people don't know. Like someone is working in another person's company, and instead of giving in your best, you are trying to see what we can take away from that company and go away and open our own. It is ignorance, it is foolishness, because when you do that to somebody and establish your own, we have established a culture that will continue to grow. And what you have done to somebody else to establish their own, another person is going to do it to you to establish his own. In this way, a negative parampara will continue. This is what we are establishing everywhere in the world. But Christian consciousness is different. The leadership in Christian consciousness is different. Care for the people. And everything else will come in automatically. Next. The decline of patience and tolerance. High is tolerance and patience are going away. Modern approach damages the planet's ecology and puts small farmers out of business, eliminating the opportunity for many to live close to nature and make a meaningful contribution to society. The work which 10 people can be employed to do, our tractor will do it alone. So what is that? It's a lack of patience, it's a lack of tolerance. It's very, very destructive in many ways. Yes, it will look faster. This is the illusion which we are in that we don't even know. The work which 10 people will do in 10 hours, the tractor will do it in 1 hour alone. So we may think that we are advancing, we are more productive, but actually we are more destructive. We are going to put people out of use. They cannot maintain themselves. Therefore, in the city, what do we have in the city? Unemployment. And what is the result of unemployment? Stealing will increase. That is sure. Stealing will increase. Crime will increase. Hostility will increase. Human inhumanity will increase. And it's increasing every day. The human qualities are being destroyed every day. Why? No patience and no tolerance. Why? Our modern so-called advancement, very destructive. Apart from that, look at the danger. The danger is that we're polluting the ether. We're destroying the soil, nature. We're against the nature. Nature is a mother, and we are harming, destroying the mother. What is the hope of a child? What is the hope of a child destroying his or her mother? A child needs a mother. If the child is harmful to the mother, what will be the future of the child? Then we are going to waste a lot of resources, fuel. But look at the cows. What do we lose here? Nothing. It's only gain. It's nothing. So we're going to put farmers out of job. You are going to also create a hostility in them by competition to exist. The patience is no more there. Tolerance is no more there. Hostility means there's no tolerance. There is no patience. So many small farmers who are in direct contact with the earth's rhythm in their daily work have learned the importance of adapting themselves to the natural order. When we displace them, it's like being destroyed. So we're thinking that we are civilized by this, but actually we are very, very destructive and creating havoc. Now, I remember some years ago, how much the crops one will get when you plant, just simple thing you plant again, you have a lot of it. But because we have chemicalized the place, now you're having small, little. And even that is chemical. You eat it and become anxiety, full of anxiety. All right? the decline of patience and tolerance. People who adapt to things in natural order have more opportunities to practice patience than those who have lost touch with the natural world. See, the boy is very happy identifying with the cow. Very happy. It's natural. As he lives his life, close to nature. Everything is natural. So you can easily do this. You cannot bring a boy from the city to touch the cow. Oh,
It's 4 o'clock.
Oh, great. Oh, is this dirty? Oh, this is, no, it's disease. I cannot touch. But people who live a very simple life are happy and satisfied. All right, next. Modern medicine can replace almost any limb or reconstruct almost any type of body that someone might want. Instead of accepting what they have and appreciating natural body changes, those who can afford it may seek to alter bodily features to suit an idealized image. Very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. Waste of money. And an attempt to challenge nature. And at the end also, look at the illusion which one is undergoing, the pain one undergoes by the plastic surgery. Very demonic. One day, he look at a lady on the board, a billboard, advertising some chemicals, cosmetics. So when I pointed the lady and said, which person look like this? Which part of the world this person resembled? It doesn't it doesn't look like anyone from any part of the world. This is chemical. So we have a picture of Michael Jackson here. We know how many times he did plastic surgery. Many times. He did so much that one cannot even recognize the body he came with from his mother's womb. And what is the consequences? Became a debtor. He left the world as a debtor. And according to the scripture, a debtor is an enemy to the family. Now they are trying to sell his things to pay off the debt. But he has spent millions to do plastic surgery, completely unnecessary. And this lady here, so this lady, is this white or is this black or is Indian? Who knows where this lady from? And which personality look like this? This is really demonic. So to pay money, it is not the issue. The consequences of this demonic activity is a problem. When one is fully conscious of the body, we are naturally losing our chance of taking to Krishna consciousness, which is the means to take us back to Godhead. We are simply concerned with the body, which is the instruction given by the Shastra. We are not this body, but we are 100% busy with bodily activities. When will we become Krishna conscious? Krishna consciousness will be completely forgotten. This is the danger. Among all other things, the danger is that we'll lose our chance of becoming Krishna conscious. Next. How to develop patience and tolerance. Now we have the opportunity to overcome all the unnecessary things. One way to increase Our patience and tolerance is to monitor this highly mechanized and cosmetic world carefully in order to offset its negative effects. Avoid it as much as necessary. If people are seriously engaged in plastic surgery, in all these chemicals, when you have a little problem, to stitch the body to be a problem, it will become a serious problem. So what is the use of this thing? We should try to avoid these things. Should try to avoid them. This is the way to overcome. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father, Krishna, is not in him. This is Jesus speaking. And then another place he said, one cannot love God and Mammon the same. It's not possible. Yes. So one cannot become sinful, one cannot become materially conscious and at the same time become God conscious. It's not possible. One has to give way to another. They're not on the balance on the scale. They're not. So everything has its natural rhythm. Yes. In some cases, people can interfere with this thing and get rather good immediate result. However, negative reaction will occur at some point in the future. So there's no good thing there. There's no good thing there at all, because if it doesn't happen, it's going to happen tomorrow. So it doesn't make sense at all for any sensible person to go into this. Most of the cares in the world today can be traced to the failure to look holistically at the long-term effect of human actions. So leader must look carefully into our actions today. We already discussed. We should look at our present, because that is our future. We should check, what are we creating for our tomorrow by what we are doing today. Right? Next. This is a remedy. By being more in harmony with nature instead of interfering and creating unnecessary confusion, people can improve themselves and benefit the world. We should do that. Patience and tolerance are essential factors of true leadership because they are signs of strength and power. It is easy to produce useless or harmful results, but it takes great strength to create beneficial outcomes in the right way at the right time. That is why many people cannot do that. Many people cannot do, because good things doesn't come so easily, but bad things can easily be done. Therefore, people who are not so fortunate will go for the wrong thing. But it's very, very important for us to go for the highest thing. Srila Prabhupada tolerated and was so patient. This morning from Prabhupada Ramlita we are reading. And Prabhupada were treating the devotees who were coming with so much patience, with so much love, with so much skill, with so much compassion, that the people sometimes they forget about his position. Or sometimes they will remember, oh, we are different. He had never been a hippie before. He had never been a street person before. He had never tested LSD before. He had not done all this nonsense thing before. And we did all this. So we are not the same. We're not on the same level. He comes from a different level. He's living with us here very patiently, teaching everyone. See how he sits, so simple. Just see. Very simple. This is the world leader, not just a world leader, a dear devoted orchestra from the spiritual will come in here. Look at this position. But see, sitting very simply. Why? To bring out the good in in us that we have forgotten. This is the power. This is the power. Patience and tolerance, essential factors of true leadership. So simple, but very powerful. Powerful things are simple, not sophisticated. We live a sophisticated life, we will have all the difficulties. Live a simple life, you have everything wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I remember when we came to the movement, you see here in West Africa, I have a clear understanding. I can remember devotees, very simple, sleeping on the mat, eating 2 times a day, a rented house. We don't have a vehicle for ourselves. Everything, that was the happiest and sweetest time we had. Now we have a temple of fun, we have cars, we have many facilities, sleeping on the bed. What is the problem? Anxiety. That simple life, that peace we were having before has disappeared. Because we were living simple, no complaint. Everything was static. But now, what is it? Now struggling with many things, with all place, what the whole place we have. High living cannot make one think simple. Simple living makes one think high. High living makes one think less. Therefore, it is better to live simple and think very high. Work for Krishna. Remember Krishna. So this is the remedy. We should try to be in harmony with nature. We should try to be in harmony with nature. And not to interfere with nature. Nature has already made everything. Since Upanishad said what? Everything is perfect and complete from Krishna. We have the right to change anything. Everything has been designed by nature perfectly because the nature knows exactly what we need to do. And we are in ignorance. How can we know what is good for us? We don't know what is good for us. So we cannot interfere. Interference is a serious problem. So the remedy is avoid interfering with nature, to live in harmony. We know very well that if you have a good relationship with somebody, you will enjoy that relationship. So this is what we should do. Even poverty and all the things that we are lacking in this matter, everything is due to the fact that we are living against nature. When the British Maharaj requested Mother to produce food, he said, how can I feed the rogues? What is the benefit of feeding rogues? What is the benefit of feeding snake with milk? It will increase the poison. That is why we are lacking things. We're not lacking things because God cannot provide. And there's nothing like overpopulation. There's nothing like that. There's nothing. Animals are of 8 million. Human species is only 400. How can there be overpopulation for 400,000? Not 8 million. 8 million not complaining of overpopulation. All right. Next. Pitfalls of leadership. The temptation for leaders to become autocratic or to act solely on the basis of their own desires, aspirations, and perceptions. These are pitfalls. These are pitfalls. Becoming autocratic solely on the basis of our own desire. This is wrong. It is useless. That is Ravana. That is not the devotee. This is Ravana mentality. We just give an example of Srila Prabhupada. He was leading people, very simple, very tolerant, very nice. Look at the Kamsa, look at Ravana. There's no tolerance, there's no patience. Why? autocratic mentality. What I want. Leaders are different. Devotees are different. What is the remedy for this? Leaders can view their role as one of coordinating the activities of those for whom they are responsible. So in our movement, in our own culture, we say servants are leaders are servants. We never have this word in the material world. In the spiritual, we have it, servant leaders. We are there to serve. We're not there to exploit. You're not there to go and loot. It's a service. So we are servant leaders. 2, to do so properly requires a constant awareness of being a servant to others. Not master. We're not master, we're a servant. We're going to serve. So we don't understand that we are servant. Everybody is thinking we are the masters, so we are going to go and exploit the resources which is there. This is very, very dangerous. This is Ravana mentality. 3, being a servant entails keeping abreast of the people's problems, needs, and goals in order to be in a position to stimulate growth and develop useful projects that enhance the quality of life. Provide all the necessary amenities for human life, just for human life. That's to be there. Provide opportunity for people to become Krishna, concentrate to Krishna, to understand the purpose of human life, the purpose of life, the goal of life. A leader has the responsibility to create this awareness, to help people understand this. Take care of people's need, not what we want, not our greed, but what we need. It's Krishna consciousness. This will make things very easy and simple for us. So Ravana mentality should be removed. And a Yudhishthira Maharaj mentality or anti-day mentality, Parisi Maharaj mentality should be cultivated. One take to Krishna consciousness for this. One take to leadership for this is to help people, not just to go and loot. All right. Next. The pitfalls. The tendency to take the benefit of leadership for granted, forgetting that most people do not share in the blessings and privileges inherent in such a position. We are not in the leadership position because we are the best. It may not necessarily that we are the best people. It could also be that because we have the material ability. So Krishna has given us an opportunity. So we can use that talent to benefit our lives and help other people. We should not forget the position we have, there are more people who have better qualification than us that doesn't have the position. So therefore, it should be used to help devotees, but not to people, not to interfere with people or to deny people's rights. The remedy is that if we want to develop compassion, we want to develop appreciation, we want to be tolerant, want to be patient, want to have sympathy for people, it is very, very necessary for us to visit from time to time various institutions, orphanage homes, motherless baby homes. What again? There's so many homes. Old age homes. Old age home is increasing. All over the world is increasing. Somebody has suffered keeping you in the womb for 9 months, suffer like anything, pains and all kinds of things. When you get out, you have been all the sickness, all the cry, all the disturbance, somebody have tolerated or taken care of you. But when you grow up, the person becomes a burden for you. How is that human? But it's increasing. Old age home is increasing. Motherless baby is increasing. Orphanage home is increasing. Hospitals are increasing. So you can visit hospitals, you can visit the mental institutions, you can visit the prisons or orphanages. Seeing such a suffering can greatly increase our desire to help others. We will not just to help others, we will develop appreciation for Krishna. We'll start appreciating Krishna more. We'll appreciate what we have more. There are thousands of people who are there in the hospital. Some of them are not going to come out. They're going to leave their body after spending the whole money they have struggled, commit all kinds of civil activity to acquire before they will give up the body. Thousands and millions of people are there in the hospital like that. So if we visit, it will help us to change our attitude. We will develop gratitude. We will develop appreciation. We will develop the sympathy, want to help people because people are suffering. You can see that. If you go to hospital because you're sick, that's a different thing. If you go to visit hospital, go and visit a family member or friend, that's a different thing. But when we visit it, they're not for all these things, but to see what is happening, that's a different thing. We have a different experience. That will help us in our leadership. A leader should not sit in one place. If you sit in one place, you cannot see it perfectly. We already give an example of Ramachandra, how he moves around. And also, you should not forget, whatever was advised by Parishad Maharaj, go and survey your kingdom and see what is happening. It is then he saw a cow was being killed by one black man. And immediately he took action. He was sitting in a palace, surrounded by ministers and opulence, you will not see that. But he has to go out to see what is happening. Lord Buddha became a saint from seeing a dead body. As a priest, he didn't understand what was dead, not difficult. He didn't understand anything. But the first day he saw a dead body, his life changed. Lord Buddha. Now we take him very seriously. As a prince, he didn't notice that. So it's important for us to visit these places and see how people are suffering. That will help us to develop patience and avoid this exploitative mentality we have thinking that we are the controller. We will see, we will understand that we are not, and we recognize the supreme controller. Next. Still on the pitfalls. The temptation to be bored, unenthusiastic, and even depressed at times. That is it for a leader because they're going to deal with so many issues, so many perplexing situations. Many. You'll be surprised to see how people also act below the human standard. Majority of people. So you'll be surprised. Are they human beings? Kinnaras? Kinnaras. Are they human beings? So a leader can become despondent or depressed or enthusiastic, or see how you constantly try to help people, but the same people you try to help, they're the people who stand against you. Mahatma Gandhi was killed. The people who was fighting to get the blessing for it was killed, and many other people. Even in Christian conscience, you see that. The people who try to help us, who crucified Jesus, is the student. Who poisoned Muhammad? Is the disciples. So these things happen. So one can become unenthusiastic. I think, should I do this? To hell with this, let me just resign. What's the remedy? It is a fact that higher forces to act upon every person's life. Leaders can overcome some of these negative feelings by reflecting on the many wonderful situations God has arranged for them, in contrast to the experiences of the average person. Such thought can bring immediate relief, or even exaggeration, as these many blessings become apparent. I'm sure that all of us have this kind of experiences, remembering some wonderful thing that has happened to us, that Christians have done, that become a source of encouragement, remembering that, yeah, this Christian did this for me. So the difficulty we have will become, you don't have effect on us. It don't bring any depression when you remember how we have been helped in so many ways. In so many ways, good thing Christian has done to us. Remembering them can bring wonderful energy, wonderful, strong energy that will energize us, giving us a help, because we're anticipating such wonderful thing will take place again in our lives. So we can reflect on that. That is one of the good things, that if you write your dreams down, some of these wonderful dreams, you write it down. When you read it, you give you a lot of hope, a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. So the present situation will become insignificant. And you want to push forward, you want to move forward. You don't want to relent on all this or be affected by all these negative things. There's something beyond all this. So there are sources of motivations. And knowing always that Krishna is always there for us at all times. And he's watching every single thing that's going on in our lives. All right, next. Loneliness. There is a presence of God in our heart that is always monitoring our activities. Such a presence can be a source of great solace, and it is increasingly available as we learn to control our passions. This is very important, very correct. And even if your psychic space is bombarded constantly, or if you feel agonizingly alone, your contact with the higher self, that aspect of God residing within us, allows us to be guided and protected by higher forces. We should be convinced by now that the super soul is real and is there, watching, assisting, and directing everything from the dreams we used to have, from experiences we used to have, from seeing other personalities. We should be 100% convinced that yes, Krishna is there, the supreme control of everything. Nothing is above him, nothing is equal to him. He is blessing us and seeing how we are working very hard, and the end is wonderful. The end is wonderful. By realizing this, by thinking about it, by remembering this, by seeing that there's so many people around us, so many personalities with us, helping us, so many. There's so many, even more than what we can imagine. That alone will make us to smile when we have challenges. It will help us. The memories of this will help us to smile. Yes, this is part of the things I needed to pass through to get to where I want to go. So it will become a source of inspiration, no more a stumbling block, but a stepping stones. All our challenges become the stepping stones. Our practice should take us to this level. Right? Next. Hare Krishna. So is loneliness real, or it is illusion? Loneliness is real. The majority of people are feeling lonely. So, but why loneliness? We have so many friends, we have Children and the wife, the husband is the friends, brothers, sisters, and the workers, and the we have so many people and the gurus, many disciples are there. Why loneliness? Why lonely? Loneliness is a reality, it is there. It is true. I also heard that Bill Gates is feeling lonely. That is a problem with him. He's lonely. But he's a person that if he presses the button, immediately thousands of servants come with folded hands, ready to carry out his instruction. But why lonely? Because all these things are external, they're not coming from the heart. The relationship is not from the heart. The relationship is external. So while one is dealing with all these artificial things, the heart still remains empty. It's just always a sign that our Christian consciousness is not so deep. Yes, because all souls have emanated from one God. No one need feel lonely or separate. But because our connection is not realized, our connection with Christ is not realized. So loneliness is there. It means that the space of space is there. When you realize that all souls share the same nature and that only bodies as garments are different, you may feel refreshed, realizing that everyone is part of a great family sharing the same spiritual inheritance. Daily meditation on this awareness can help you become free from loneliness. Yes, it's a remedy. And God is there with all the wonderful experience. But when we look at Krishna, what do we see? Krishna is constantly with a cowhead boy with the cow going to the forest every day, playing through the whole day and eating, taking care of it. He play the whole day. They come back in the evening and in the night. Krishna is go back again to the forest for dancing throughout the whole night with the girls. What life? That life is waiting for all of us. It's not encouraging that when one feel like this. What is the question of loneliness? Loneliness means that we are not participating with Krishna in his enjoyment. If we enter into Krishna family, this is a daily meditation. I have to go to Krishna the whole day for tending the cows. The whole day. It is playing. It is all playing and feasting. Lobaram told Mother Yashoda, when the Mother Yashoda wanted to follow them to the forest, Lord Krishna was sad. He didn't say anything, was sad. So Mother Yashoda said, Krishna, what is the problem? Are you worried about who is going to be in the house? Oh, today I'm going with you to the forest. Rohini is taking care of the house. Tomorrow I will say Rohini will follow you to the forest. So when they're hungry, we'll feed you. So what's the problem? Krishna kept quiet, didn't say anything. And Balaram said, Mother, let me tell you the truth. You see, we boys are not going to the forest to take care of cows. We are going there to play. We enjoy ourselves. The cows, they take care of themselves. We don't take care of them. We simply take them to the forest. They eat all the grass they need. We simply play. So if you come there, you're going to disturb our place. So don't come. Say now. So this Christian does with the boys every day. In the night, dancing with the girl through the whole night, no sleep. Day and night, 24 hours, Christian is engaged. And that is waiting for all of us. Thinking about this, understanding that this is our right. The question of loneliness, we will transcend that. How can you be lonely and depressed knowing that you are under the loving care of the divine supreme personality who sends you individualized assistance? Personal assistance is the personal assistance. Personal. Our suffering is only because of ignorance. Knowing this fully, how can someone be lonely? It is not possible. It is possible because we are not connected. We're not connected. So this is to help us know what is there, how to get it, and what will be our experience. And working on that, we'll get to the reality. Next. Yes. So moving beyond loneliness, to go beyond that, to overcome that. Did you make use of the help available to you from higher levels, or instead did you try to do everything alone? That is a problem. That is a question that should be answered. So we should look at this. Always remember that what you hold in your consciousness manifests outwardly in your body and your affairs. If you think and act in accordance with spirit, you recognize that you are not alone and that you are constantly being monitored and supported. There are millions of helpers all over at all times for everyone. So we are denying ourselves what is available. So we should cry out for Krishna's mercy. To cry out for Krishna's mercy. And Gajendra cried out to Krishna. Krishna descended and saved him from the crocodile. So we are trapped by the crocodile of material existence. And Krishna consciousness is the solution. So let us connect back. Let us remember, constantly remember that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is real, the Supreme Personality of Krishna, and is always there for us, and has made so many wonderful arrangements for us. Always available, always. So we cannot be lonely if we know what is available and connect ourselves with the Supreme Krishna, who is constantly enjoying himself constantly with his intimate friends. The Christian consciousness is to invite you to join Christian family for enjoyment, not for suffering, but for enjoyment. Not to be burnt out, not to be dumped, but to enjoy with Krishna eternally. This enjoyment is eternal. Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam. Oh, Brahma Sokyam tu Anantam. It is waiting, the ocean of bliss is waiting for everyone. Everyone. We should not forget the Krishna delivered the Gajendra and took him on the same airplane. Usually all the souls, we have a separate airplane to go. But Krishna took Gajendra with him. Just imagine. That facility is waiting for all of us. Next, so let us move beyond the loneliness by applying this principle, these technologies, now avoiding an elitist mentality. A leader's responsibility is to keep the interest of the people always as a number one priority. As a leader. It's a leader. To keep the interest of people at heart and to work on that interest. You should be careful not to give any instruction that you will not follow yourself. That's not a leader, it's a tyrant. Do as I say. But don't do as I do. That's a cheater. A leader, a child principle is what? Do as I do. Just do as I'm doing. That is a leader. Be careful of elitism, which is a disease that can render your effort irrelevant. So let us put this technique in developing empathy. Try meditating on a simple person in society who has little or nothing, yet still seems to get by. You might also notice that certain spiritual people with a few material possessions seem to have a great world, inner happiness, peace, and love. The happiness, the joy, the peace you are looking for does not come from material things. They are from the soul. This is the quality of the soul. They are coming from inside. Why Bill Gates is lonely and miserable? It has all the physical thing, all of them. Why so many billionaires are lonely They have all the physical things, they're all available. So what we're looking for, it is not here, it is what Krishna. It is what Krishna. So let us think about this, look about this. People who don't have much as we have are simple and happy, and we have more and miserable. Why is that? We should look at that. It is not the material thing that will make one happy. It is Krishna, is our purity, our connection with Krishna, our taking full shelter of Krishna, acting as Krishna one that will be happy. Because the peace and happiness is Krishna property, it's not someone's property. That is why we don't have market for that. We have market for so many things, but we don't have a market where we can buy happiness and peace. Even if you have the money, but where's the market? But have the market first. Any confusion, tension, or disappointment you experience may result from having overly complicated your life. That is a fact, 100% correct. Complications we have, the confusions, anxiety, all this disappointment, everything, it is because we are ourselves complicated. Simple people will be happy with everything. Even a cup of water will make them happy and satisfied. And someone who has everything. Someone is sleeping on a water bed, but is sweating. Someone is sleeping on the floor and is having a sound sleep. What is that? I was talking to one disciple, she was telling me her mother is sleeping on a water bed. I said, okay, your mother sleeps on a water bed, but how does it feel? So miserable. So what is the use of that? Sleep on the mat and feels and have a sound sleep and forget you're sleeping on water bed or sleeping on the floor. It is complications, sophisticated life that is bringing all this anxiety and frustration. Live simple, be simple, and you see how happy one will be. Always, if selfish people cannot be happy. Never. You can have everything, but as long as we are selfish, you cannot be happy. If to be happy, you must be selfless. And the leader must be selfless. Otherwise, how are we going to take care of people? We're going to see everybody as our property. When we are selfless, we will never exploit anybody because we are going to work for people's interests. Next. Avoiding an illicit mentality. When people are attached to unhealthy temporary situations, such situations can become stagnating and depressive factors in their lives. That is what is happening every day. Everyone wants to be a free spirit, yes. Able to enjoy the fineness that life has to offer, yes. But the fineness that life has to offer is not material. This is what we're saying before. It is not material. And unless and until we realize this and detach ourselves from this and attach ourselves to spirituality, we'll remain lonely, we'll remain impatient, we'll remain intolerant, we'll remain depressed. All these unnecessary things will become our companion. A leader, a Christian conscious person companion is not Krishna, but all the devotees. Instead, it is so transcendental that it makes the basic material pleasure seem bland and even painful, in contrast to the sublime sentiment, realizations, and sensation obtained from higher spiritual contacts. Next, here we see some Ramachandra is giving audience, is giving audience to this small squirrel. This small squirrel is happy, enjoying the association of Ramachandra. Simplicity, not sophistication. It's happy. The human beings, they have so many things, so many security devices everywhere, but no happiness. No happiness. One is simply a prisoner. with all the material facilities we have. So prisoners everywhere, prisoner in the street. Not only in the four walls, prisoners in the street. Prisoner in the body. This having the material body alone is a prison. Yes. Next, let's go. Next, where you were before you came back. Yes, conquering envy. Like impatience, envy is a great destroyer of natural compassion. Envy. How? Why? Envy is a great destroyer of natural compassion. And those who are genuinely trying to be their brother's keepers will do well to exercise vigilance in order to avoid it. Envy is what? A destroyer of natural compassion. Natural compassion. If I envy you, I don't wish you anything good. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, you know what I? Oh, nothing bad has. Oh, good in a car. Oh, why? It should be dead by now. This is what you want to hear when you envy somebody. You have gotten a very big job, big contract. Big contract. Oh, I tell you, I'm going to hear that now you are living in the street. That's envy. Envy. It is so dangerous, so dangerous. Excuse me. Envy is ultimately one of the greatest offenses against God. How? Why did you dress the deity so nicely like that? Why you dress the deity so nicely? You see everybody is clapping and appreciating the deity you do. Why did you dress the deity so nicely like that? You should have forgotten earring. You should have forgotten to put a turban on his head so that people will laugh at you. You see, the envy so dangerous. They would deny Krishna his position, his enjoyment, his own position. We deny Krishna. Someone had distributed books. Oh, 1,000 books you distribute. You should have distributed the whole day. You should have gone to the city and returned back with all the books, not even give to anybody. It's envy. We deny Krishna. We deny people Krishna consciousness. Very destructive. Because it emerges from interaction with aspect of God's creation, fellow human beings. Envy is a major factor that keeps people separated from their natural God consciousness. We don't want anything good. When we see somebody is happy, oh, why are you happy? Why are you happy? You should be crying. I want to hear that you're in the hospital. Yes. That's envy. It's very destructive. Why do you cook so nicely? Every devotee talking about the prasadam you cook. Just why do you cook so nicely like that? You should have forgotten to put salt inside the food so that everybody condemn you. Then I feel very happy. I know. Yes, I know very well that it's not good. That's envy. It's dangerous than the nitron. What do you call it? Nitron weapon. A bomb. Very dangerous. Therefore, we are requested to carefully look into this. And those who are genuinely trying to be their brother's keepers will do well to exercise vigilance in order to avoid this. Kaliya did not recognize Krishna. But those appreciate Krishna is so beautiful, so attractive, so charming, so sweet and smiling that when we look at Krishna, immediately anxiety disappears. But because of envy, The poison of Kaliya did not disappear until Krishna has to punish him. All right? Hare Krishna. Conquering envy. Human beings are innately envious of God. We had this is the reading that brought us here. This is so because the degree of envy represents the degree to which people break the laws of God. And the extent to which people break the laws of God indicate the extent to which they bring misfortune upon themselves. Fortunately, as human beings become more self-realized, they find that their envy of God decreases. And as it is decreases towards God, it also decreases towards other human beings. Very nice. Very, very nice. We break the laws of God. Yes, without feeling. Because of envy. Why should I obey God? Why? I'm God myself. That's this envy. All right. Conquering envy. Envy can create a drain on our consciousness and interfere with our ability to serve effectively. This situation can test our love and tempt us to react negatively. Therefore, we should be careful not to allow this to happen. We should be careful. You can also try to uplift them by projecting loving, selfless, and caring thoughts in the face of our own envy. Remember that when we are able to enjoy the achievement, happiness, and success of others, we become empowered to be a carrier of a higher spiritual potential. Empathizing and sympathizing for others are not useless exercises, but these are powerful exercises. When we feel happy with a success of other people, that is how we check the level of our envy. And that is how also we get empowered. Therefore, we should accept the circumstances, recognize them, and refuse to be destroyed by them. All right? Next. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Gurudev, should we take questions now? We have Pranhari Prabhuji with one question.
Okay, Pranhari Prabhu. What is your question, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, you're on mute. Could you please unmute yourself?
Unmute yourself, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, how are you?
Great.
Nice to hear your again very deep knowledge. I don't know how I can take it in my life. Seem very difficult because it's for me it does look like impossible thing for me right now. But I will try. Maharaj, my first question. Yeah, my question is
related. Agree to try.
Definitely.
Yes, try, you will get
okay,
it.
Definitely, Maharaj. Maharaj, my question. Okay, definitely. Maharaj, the first question related to the you mentioned that we are all leader in your previous lecture. Previous to that, actually, And you also mentioned today about the humanity. So how do we bring as a leader everyone on a single platform where basically they can become a Krishna consciousness? Because there are many in this world which are not Krishna consciousness. So what should be my responsibility, or which I can do in initial to start with, to bring them into Krishna consciousness? That is question number one.
Whoever we meet, we introduce them to Krishna consciousness. Who is interested and want to progress from there, we encourage them to take seriously to Krishna consciousness. That is what we can do. We have the desire to change the whole world. That desire is there to change the whole world. It is natural, because that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had. That is what Nityananda Prabhu had. This is what our charity had. But they have the desire, but some of us are not ready yet, so they cannot force. They did what they can do. Those who are very fortunate, able to get in contact with the process, and they try as much as possible to help. That's what we can do. All right?
Yeah, yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, one more question is that, as you mentioned and also read, is basically that we have a super soul inside us, which is always there and helping us, or is watching us all the time. Now, my problem is basically the connectivity. I'm not able to connect the inner strength, like not able to feel that, like, okay, I'm feeling some, bliss, something like that, so I want to develop that. How to develop that?
You notice that anytime you want to do something, there is always a dialogue.
Yes.
Anytime you want to do something, so the super soul is speaking. Don't do this because it is not good for you and for everybody. That voice is always there. But because we are not grateful, we don't obey that. We rather obey what our mind says. So the best way to develop this, as you say, it is recommended that every day once we have 10, 15 minutes, the time when you're not chanting, you're not reading, you're not hearing, you're not sleeping, you just try to listen to the inner voice. That is how to connect with the super soul. Every serious leader practices it. You're not sleeping, you're not reading, you're not chanting, you're not hearing. You just sit silently and try to listen inside. That is how we can develop our connection with the super soul. Second one is to always remember, we notice that we always hear a voice telling us a thing which is very difficult for us to do. That is super soul. The mind will tell you the simple thing to do, which you are used to. No, Prabhu, just do it. I've been doing it now. It's very good. Just do it. At least for today, not just for today. The super soul say, don't do it. Not even for today, don't do it. But we don't follow that. That is super soul. All right?
Maharaj, last question, sorry. Many questions, but last question, sorry. Maharaj, this how to destroy this selfishness, I feel that there is a lot in me, especially I feel that how to destroy that, because sometimes I feel I try to do it, but again come back to the square one, so how to destroy that selfish?
To destroy selfishness, we have to practice selflessness. Selflessness means we should not only be thinking about I. You should be thinking how we can do something to help people. Especially with devotees first. With devotees, how can I do something to help devotees? How can I support devotees? Thinking about this and physically doing something to help devotees. Say we don't see a devotee, call a devotee, like devotee care. We discuss when we can. Devotee. Caring for devotees. We don't see a devotee, we say, call the devotee. Not visit the devotee. See what is difficult. Try to do something physical to help. This is how we develop selflessness.
It's 5 o'clock.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I've taken your time. Sorry for that.
No problem.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Very good. Yes, Pragati?
Srila Gurudev, I don't think there are any questions yet. So,
Okay.
yes,
So
Srila
very close enough because we are going already 5 o'clock.
Yes, Srila Gurudev.
So we thank all of you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Glories to all the devotees. Glories to Srila Bhakti Dhira Maharaj. His wonderful leadership. Hare Krishna.
Glories to His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj. Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Wishing all of you a good night. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much.